Welcome, Self-Defense Skills class. This is your professor, Mike Q. I just wanted to send one more video. I know you're probably sick of seeing so many videos of me, but this video is a little different. I wanted one more video to send you out in the wild because I also, besides being a kinesiology professor, self-defense instructor, I used to be a professional fighter. But since then, for the last 5 years, I've been doing full-time executive protection. And what executive protection is, it's just a fancy way of saying personal protection agent, security specialist that focuses on individuals. Basically a bodyguard, but much more than a bodyguard. We work for high net worth individuals. These are billionaires, celebrities. I fly all over the world with these, and we're in charge of their personal safety. We have to do a bunch of things to ensure that when we're in these new countries, we're traveling. These guys are high targets, basically. They have a lot of money. Sometimes they have a lot of enemies. And our job is to ensure their safety. And there's a lot of tactics and strategies we use in executive protection that I think that I know can be very beneficial and useful for everybody, for self-defense especially. So real quick, I don't want to make this too long. I can go on forever about this stuff, but basically just some tactics and strategies we use that you can use. And I'll try to type this out. I'll write this out for you guys, but just wanted to throw it in video form real quick. So anyways, first thing we do is we have the 4 Ps models. The 4 Ps, what are they? The first 2 are plan and predict. Whenever we're doing anything, like I said, we're moving to new locations, we're in crazy, environments where there's a lot of people, where there's drunk people, where there's haters, where there's, a lot of question marks, uncertainties. So you need to plan and predict. Whenever you're going anywhere, personally, right, it could go for you guys. When you're taking your family to Disneyland, or you're going to a party, you're going to a rave, I don't know, whatever you guys do. Anything different, you're going to meet somebody, maybe you bought something on Craigslist. There's all these situations that that are new to us. So we need to plan and predict what can go wrong. You need to do your research, Google the area, check out the local crime statistics if it's a new city, a new scene, new area zone, and basically just kind of use your imagination. Try to predict anything that could be an issue. What can go wrong? What can go wrong, basically, is what you, because basically the way our brain works is if we can kind of plant that seed of something that might happen, even though most of the time it probably won't happen, but we'll at least be prepared. We mentally prepare ourselves. We're giving ourselves a little kind of warning. So we're not just caught off guard, and that's when we freeze, and that's when we take those precious extra seconds to respond, which could mean everything in a bad situation. All right, so plan and prediction. Those are the first 2. Are there any local hospitals or jails or sketchy facilities in the area? Parking, where are you going to park? How far is the parking from where you're going to? Is it going to be dark when you get back? There's all kinds of situations that you need to think about, plan, predict. And these are important because, like I said, they give you those key precious seconds to react, to respond. Of course, those are the first 2 Ps. Then we go to prevention mode. That's when we use our security skills, situational awareness, which is everything. That's 90% of everything. That article is amazing. Please go back, reread that article. It takes 2 or 3 times for it to kind of absorb. But read that situational awareness article. It's fantastic. So that's everything. So be aware, be vigilant, always be alert, be vigilant, just be paranoid. Why not? It's better to be paranoid and something bad happens and you respond to it than you just being oblivious and on our cell phones or, deep in conversation or hanging out in our car, texting in a bad environment when we should be on the move. All right. And then the last one, of course, is protection. Protect yourself. The last resort is when we have to use our physical skills. And this semester, I've planted all these martial arts skills. If you can just be a push kick expert and know how to throw some combos and know how to set up a knee to the groin and know how to get out of these of a bear hug from behind, somebody's trying to yank you into a moving vehicle, just knowing how to do these basic moves. Like I said, I gave you guys enough to know more than I want to say most criminals, right? I'm sure at some point there's going to be some supervillain criminals that are maybe ex-martial artists, but hopefully not. Most of them will not. They'll have mental issues. They'll be drunk. They'll be just bullies, right? So the last one is protection. So those are the 4 Ps: plan and predict, prevent, protection, 4Ps, great, awesome. I think everybody can use those things. Just go through that. Bah, 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 bah. The other thing we use is called the trifecta of protection. The trifecta protection is, let's go through them real quick. The first one is context. Where are you going? What are the threats? Remember that 86% of attacks happen in transitional space, meaning you're not at home, you're not even at work, you're transitioning, you're moving from one area to the next. You're going to a Starbucks at night in a weird city, or you're going to, you're traveling and you're shopping, and the transitional space is where we're moving. So always have context. So realize, where am I exposed? Especially when we're in new environments, right? For me, when we're traveling with our billionaire clients and they want to go shopping, or with a hip hop celebrity star and they want to wear their bling, they want to wear their jewelry, we have to be extra cautious and secure, and basically be on high alert. So we don't hang out in our car texting. We're always try to get moving. We always try to have routes. Routes is another important thing that we use a lot. We should always know where you're going, right? Know where you're going to park your car, know how to get from your car to the destination, and how to get back safely. Make sure there's no sketchy situations around there. So that's another issue. So context, and that's the first trifecta of protection. The second one is tactical positioning. We always have the most visionary mastery of our environments, right? You want to have the best eyes. You should always have your eyes on your client or on your child, or have your eyes open to what's important, to your attention. So tactical position. Make sure you're not, where am I going to sit? I always prefer, and I need to sit with my back to the wall. I want to sit in the corner where I can see everyone. I can see my client, I can see my child, I can see the door, I can see the exits, I can see what's going on. Tactical position is very important. We do that all the time. So make sure you know where you're sitting. Always have a plan. Have a plan. Know what's worst case scenario. Somebody comes in here with a gun. What am I going to do? Have exit strategies. Look for the door. I'm going to grab my child, run out the side exit. Or I'm going to jump on my client, push him down, and then one of us will deal with the situation, deal with the attack. Tactical positioning. It's important. The third one is called rolling risk assessment. So we always have, I don't know if you guys all see the old Terminator, the original Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. In there, they had a scene when they go into his head, and basically anytime he walks into a room, he has kind of like a little scanner. He scans the air with a little red light, little red lasers. His rolling risk assessment. And then he sees somebody, he says, adult male, drunk, or he's assessing the situation. So whenever you move into a new room, a new environment, a new country, anywhere you're not safe at home, you should always do a rolling risk assessment. I see a bunch of transients hanging out in the corner, just basically, and it's okay. We can profile in our heads. Somebody just sketchy, somebody, I don't know, cholo doesn't belong in this area. What is he doing here? That's a risk. That's a red flag. These things are just things that kind of, so it should invoke your spidey sense. Okay, so that's another one. So always have a plan when things go south, basically. We should always, I use your imagination. We talk about the theater of the mind. Martial artists use that all the time. Business people, everybody should use the power of our mind. What does that mean? We should always go through scenarios in our head before they happen, or take visual reps of things that we would do if things bad happen. So basically our brain is like a theater. We can, using our thoughts, we can program our brain to learn how to react properly, or learn what to do if something happens, even though it might not happen, or it might not ever happen. Who cares? At least in our head, we're prepared. We know what to do. So that's an important other situation. So always have a plan when things go south. Play out scenarios in our head, right? When we're meditating, just like I said, we can do mental drills in our head. We can also do mental drills of worst case scenarios, right? Situations. Okay, so anyways, that's this stuff that I feel it's important. It's useful for you guys. Like I said, the 4 Ps: plan and predict, prevention, situational awareness, and then protection, the last case scenario. But really, if you're paying all steps, all this, like I said, situational awareness is 90% of it. If you're really paying attention, you're being vigilant, you've predicted, you've planned, most of the time we can avoid bad situations, right? It's just that sketchy 10% that we got to worry about. And then the three trifectas of protection: context, tactical positioning, and rolling risk assessment. Okay, so right, know where you're going, know the threats, predict, position yourself properly, know the exits, have a plan if things go south, and then rolling, always assessing, vigilant, your little scanner for red flags, for dangers. Always have that up and running. All right, anyways, so I want to try to keep this short. I want to thank everybody for an amazing semester. You guys were awesome. I know 8 weeks is, it's short, it's fast, but just think about how much how much more dangerous you are now than you were at the beginning. That's the important part. And also realize I kind of exposed you to a new world. Some of you guys had good hands, but some of you guys had zero ground skills, or vice versa, or didn't know anything about chokes, didn't know anything about how to get taken down or not get taken down, or how to not. So these, at least you know what to do from now. And now I'm hoping you will be motivated to go off and keep training on your own. Worst case scenario, shadow boxing, drilling, or you should go take a class, take a course, join an academy. I know they're expensive nowadays, but even if you did for 1 month, I think 1 or 2 months at an academy will change your life. All these things we learn can get cemented, and worst case scenario, you're gonna know more than criminals. That's the important part, right? Last thing, I always want to put a little knife fighting and gun stuff, because we do live in a crazy time now where there's shootings. But it's just too much. I wish there was part 2 to this course. But real quick, for shooting, just always look for barriers. Always look, no matter what. You hear shots fired, immediately look for cover. We look for cover. That's number 1. Of course, always get the hell out of there. There's no reason to be around. If you can't get out of there, look for cover. The other thing is, worst case scenario, a gun person appears in front of you. You do not want to stand there. Just like in striking, you don't want to stand there so you can get punched in the face. You become a punching bag. Do not become a target. You need to move. Get the hell out of there. And we don't like to move in straight lines. Bullets start flying. We do not go in straight lines. We go in diagonals. Make it hard for this idiot, this shooter. It's real easy for them to shoot in a straight line, but for you to move diagonally, even sideways, diagonally, move in erratic patterns, it's harder for them to aim and shoot. So that's another thing. Always, in the worst case scenario, if bullets are close to you or flying to you, protect your vitals. Of course, a lot of the parallels with striking and bullets flying, it's horrible. Just so much to this, but I just wanted to throw little tips in there. Protect your head, protect your vitals, protect your organs. Use your hands, close the distance. Once you close the distance, focus, frame 2 hands on the weapon. 2 hands on the weapon. That's all we care about. Pull the weapon down, yank. We can do all these twisting techniques where you can yank the weapon out of their hand. But most of the time, hopefully, like I said, this is the worst case scenario. Get the hell out of there. If you can't, look for cover. If you can't look for cover, protect your vitals as you close the distance. Yank that weapon out, and then do maximum damage. Hopefully, there's more than one person. Best case scenario, once holding the weapon, trying to yank it out, the other person is taking them down. Another person's choking them out. That'd be best case scenario. But anyways, sorry about that. Just want to throw a little smidge, but really there's a whole nother world and that's really zero margin for error stuff. So hopefully we never have to deal with that. In the meantime, we got to continue becoming better martial artists, continue our journey, and that's about it. Thanks again. Once again, you guys are awesome. I love this class so much. Face-to-face, of course, is a better version, but at the same time, you guys are getting more philosophical. You're getting the conceptual stuff sinking in, which sometimes face-to-face, you're in there, I'm just making them drill like crazy. And they are learning, but they don't get to the same level of understanding that I feel like you guys get in the online version. So it's the best of both versions. This is a good starter. And then the next version, you guys got to get some drilling in, some sparring. What is sparring? Is basically you practicing all these drills. Just like in a cage fight, right? Just in a UFC fight, these guys, I like to think about as 2 high-level martial artists just going at it. And basically, it's self-defense at its highest form. Both of these people are trying to hurt each other. They're both using the same skills that you're using, that you have learned. And like I said, if these skills work on other trained fighters, they're definitely going to work on criminals. So watch these fights. They're important. You can watch to see what they do, how they move, and this helps kind of absorb all these techniques and skills that I've thrown at you. Anyways, all right, that's enough. Thanks again. Once again, hopefully I can run into some of you guys on campus at some point. If not, the journey, I'm sure some of you guys are, honestly, some of you guys blew me away with some of your knowledge that you already have, that you can pretty much be some high-level coaches. The rest of you, at least I know that you're another version, you're another higher optimal version of yourself, and I'm confident you all can pull these stuff off in a worst case scenario. All right, thanks everybody. Stay vigilant, stay aware, situational awareness, and keep training. That's key. And stay in shape. Stay in shape. I'm almost 50 years old, and I do my best to train like I'm gonna have a 5-round fight with a crazy attacker at any moment. All right, you can do it. It doesn't take. You don't have to be a full timer. Train. Do some strength and conditioning. Physical work, do some cardio every day, shadow box as much as you can. All this stuff is something you can do anywhere, any place, anytime. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the summer, semester, whatever. Take care.